this is Colorful Foresight, where we intuitively connect from within. And it's Woo Woo time, where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hi, this is Silvia of Colorful Foresight, and here we have Sonja, Rayne, Lee. Were you able to connect?
I there's like more information. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I needed to do this.
I think you're supposed to type it in and just.
Yeah, let me bear with us. Let's see. Woo woo time, right?
It's woo woo time. Just put current event with. So we're learning how to dual simulcast, okay?
Yes.
So
with Colorful Foresight.
And while she do that, I just want to tell you, I saw her when she had the Soul Sister Tarot, her other channel. Right now, she also has Sonja Rayne Lee. You can see it in the title. So she used to often used to do Instagram live on Friday night. So one time I asked her in a message, can I like read live with you? I wanted my spirit guide's like, go, do it. And she's like, sure. But two times she asked me, I'd be like, dumb excuse. So what happened is the universe found a way for me to get up front. They send me somebody else. So I feel like tonight it's a full circle. Mm-hmm. This would have been my first choice to like start going live with. I was saying like behind the scene, doing a YouTube, it's wonderful, but it requires a lot of like energy and like.
Yeah.
So today it's going to be fun. We're going to do on intuition toward current event. It's not political in nature. And I would highly recommend if you, as the viewer who's watching, to intuit. If you're watching us, please put in a comment. Let us know what you think too as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think we're viewing on my channel as well. So if anybody's out there, let's give Silvia a thumbs up here.
Yes, if your first time seeing me, my name is Silvia of Colorful Foresight. It's all about intuition. So definitely put a thumbs up. And also, if you're first time seeing Sonja Rayne Lee, I recommend.
I'm going to correct. It's Sonja. I know the J throws everybody off, but it's Sonja with a J.
Sonja.
Sonja.
Think
of it as a Y. It's not spelled with a Y, but it's spelled with the J.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Hey, Samantha.
Most of the time I'm texting you, so I don't ever have to say your name.
Right.
So you just want to share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonja Rayne Lee, and I do have my own channel, Sonja Rayne Lee, as well as Silvia mentioned, the Soul Sisters Tarot, which EQ is my partner in crime on that channel. We haven't lately been on it. And actually, Silvia, this is my first live in over a month. So I feel very honored to be here. Thank you for having me on your channel. Yeah. I've been taking a little bit of a holiday break, but I am, intuitive reader as well as a Reiki master. And I am a spiritual coach for basically divorced women. So that is my niche right now that I've been doing work in. So busy person, but I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I highly recommend. She had a very nice, calm energy. Whether she is actually calm or not, we don't know. When I watch her, she's very like mellow and calm.
Thank you. Yes, I was telling Silvia, I had a crazy day today. So I was kind of like, so I needed to like meditate and kind of get back into my body and my energy. So I feel really good right now.
Yeah, I'm going to say, it's not that I'm being fake, but the anxiety sometimes to go on beforehand. And then I come on, I feel okay.
There you go. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So the 5 topic we have, by the way, if we do have time, if you have a current event question, as long as non-political, if we do have time, you're more than welcome to put in. So we're going to start with the fun one, ET. So what do you want to say about that, Sonja? Sonja.
I know, take a minute for you. It's okay.
I'm not even say your name.
So there's been a lot of extraterrestrial activity going on. And of course, the government has come out and confessed to say, yes, they are real. And I've been listening to some people. Oh, what year did that guy? This one gentleman in particular, I cannot remember his name. I follow him on Instagram, said that he feels that the whole federation, if you will, is going to show up in 2027, where and like there's going to be this full-on activity that's going to happen. And everybody has their different predictions and ideas, but I thought it'd be fun if we could just kind of look at, are we going to see any increased activity for this year, for 2024?
Yeah. First, before we do that, are you talking about Stephen Greer?
No,
Are you
no.
talking about Psychic Sterling Medium?
No, this guy, he's not on YouTube. This guy is on Instagram. He's a young guy. He's like a I don't know if he's like in between Gen Z or millennial, but he's a younger guy. He's very interesting. I wish I could think of his name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's interesting because I follow, some political psychics, which you and I did, like Linda G, that's Mel Dore, and they're Sterling Psychic Medium. And it's been a couple years, so they never talk about this stuff. So going with what you're talking about, Sterling said that, he said in 25, 26, but there is going to be more of that. EP showing up. And even like Linda G said something really interesting, which she never said, that there might be Mother Mary apparition coming up in 2024. So something is up.
Okay. All right.
So one thing that come to mind I got, and I even got this last year, is that they're mentally preparing us, because we know that the government likely knows about it. Suddenly, Pentagon just announced, maybe there's something to the UAP or UFO the last year. It's probably timing, and I'm not sure if it's like, look at this.
Oh, Samantha.
Only a couple of days ago, I saw 5 triangles shaped in the sky with 2 p.m. in the day. Never seen them through the day.
Wow. I mean, and you're not the first. There's so many people seeing different things. Like if you go on TikTok and put in like alien or whatever, to see the footage that some people have caught, it's like mind blowing. It really is.
I think that's preparing us, because they can't just show up and then we're all like, go, wah, wah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter how like open we are to it. If it's like, I've shared this in videos before. I love Mother Mary. I love Jesus. I love all the divine beings. I feel them and I know they're real. But if they showed up at my front door, I might freak out. So the same thing. So Samantha,
it was wild.
How funny that you're on this live and we're talking about this.
I've had 2 experiences where I saw so when I was little, I was at a relative's home and I saw, it's so funny because it was down in North Carolina. And so they live in the woods and it was all wooded area. And I see this thing kind of like coming towards me, but it was like jolted movements. And so in my mind, being that young, I'm thinking like kangaroo is what came to mind, because that was the size of it. And then all of a sudden it just like stood straight up. And I was like, nope, and turned around and ran in the house.
Wow.
And I told everyone, I said, I saw a kangaroo. And they were like, honey, because I might have been like 5 or 6 years old, So I'm like, I saw a kangaroo. And they're like, yeah, those don't live in North Carolina, So, and I said, but it stood up and it was really tall. And so who knows what that was, but I had that experience. And then another one, probably about a couple years ago during the COVID, because I was outside and I was sitting, and it was almost like, nobody claims to know what it is, but I actually found the video footage of it. And it's like this huge, almost like a fireball. They didn't say it was a meteoroid or anything like that, but it shot through the sky, like jolted, like really fast. And somebody did catch it on camera, but all the people, I forgot all the things that they came up, but it didn't quite make sense. But that was very fascinating for what I saw there.
I know you're in Los Angeles, so they've been getting increased in that. he has stories about that in that city. I had it like I was in countryside. This is like a few years ago, and it was dark. It's dark in the mountain, dark, dark, dark. And suddenly I saw like right, and I'm like, maybe there's something down there, but it was like you said, it's not like a light. It's like choo 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 choo. But
Hmm.
I remember like keeping it quiet, and I've been in that area every year. We go to the countryside, and I never noticed that. So another time I had my mother friend there, and she tells me the next day I saw something, the same spot where it's at, you know, and my mother kind of dismissed it, but it makes me wonder. And
Yeah.
also, I had an experience where I actually asked it with you and EQ, and she verified with Alien.
Okay.
Um, it was my friend and I. We were 20 years old. I live in Queens, New York.
Hmm.
So it's like a city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm driving on a highway, and you have like an overpass.
Hmm.
So we're looking at the clock. It's 1990 around there, and it was like 11 at night. We passed the overpass, and
Oh, I
suddenly,
remember this reading. I
yes,
remember when we did that. It was on
yes,
Instagram.
yes,
Yes,
we're
we
checking it,
all of us got that for you.
right? And
How crazy.
now, so you go under, you passed it, and I remember just kind of jolting. It's only like 2 seconds, and I look at the clock with 1 o'clock. And I looked at my friend and she said, "What happened?" Now, her and I at that age were not talking about ET. We were not in that kind of mindset. And the fact that she also said, "What happened?" She experienced it was literally like 3, 4 seconds. Like, so we always question about that.
Yeah,
And
but you had a whole gap of time that was missing when we came
two
back
hours.
into yeah.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember being there or anything. But that time lapse, I mean, this is like 30 years later, and I always remember that. And I know that's unique because if I was by myself, I could say, I made it up. But I had my friend with me, and her and
Mhm.
I were not that. We were not that type to talk about things like that.
Yeah. I
And
remember doing that reading for you, all 3 of us, and, because we were, like, bugging out.
exactly. So the card is saying it's time with the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, again, they've been around us all, but it's just the timing, and they have to prepare us. So they're doing like these kind of sighting, like you're gonna hear more on the news. And I don't know if it's gonna be like the big presentation, but if it goes with that guy, that should be really interesting. But
Mhm.
one of it is they're also giving us download the high priest, that you could kind of see it, because first of all, energetically, we're always receiving download one way or the other. You don't have to be metaphysical. That's just being an energy being, right? Regardless what religion or spirituality, but it's like they're doing a download. It's like a universal thing. That's what's coming to
Mhm.
me. The only thing I don't really understand is the justice, how this come to play. Maybe it had to do with the government. Maybe, the government have been like, you know, they have to like they probably have meetings. I could just imagine them having meetings. Okay, we're gonna start talking to the humans, and enough of this hiding kind of deal. But I don't know if they're coming per se, but the fact that you said that kid said that people are seeing it more. All of us was like listening to you and me. Probably a lot of us had experience. Samantha, being one of the first to show up, had experience. Hello, a couple of days ago. It's not a mistake. So, um, I definitely think something will come to be. It's already happening. That's what I keep hearing. It's already happening.
Yeah.
Ooh, Wolf Girl is here. Hello.
Hey, Dolly. Hello, hello. As far as this year, I mean, I do think because it's interesting that I have the Two of Pentacles, but it's showing the scales as well.
Mm,
And as far as the ET activity, I still think that there's going to be maintaining that balance. So, like, we will see some things, but it won't be anything crazy or
yeah,
too
can you
crazy.
imagine? I know. We'll be like, ah,
Like you said, it's like that buildup of
yeah.
preparing to really come into this world. I also get the Two of Swords. This is kind of like back and forth. It's kind of like, is now the timing? No, I don't think the timing is now. So there's still that decision that's being made there. With the King of Swords, I even think that there's like, this is like a card of authority and legal matters. I think there's something that has been set up, with our
Like a
government.
justice card. Oh,
Yes. Yeah, with the justice system, but it's causing, I feel that it's causing them, um there's a struggle. There's definitely a struggle there. I think that they really want to do this sooner rather than later, but I feel that there's some type of agreement or something in place. So that's why they haven't come like full force right now. Um, yeah, because this is really what they want to do with the Queen of Wands here, come in with a lot more authority and, um, feeling taking more charge of this situation. I pulled a few of my other cards here. I got creativity. I think they're just like right now for 2024, looking at different creative ways of how they can bring themselves forth. How can we do this without fully coming into the space here? So they're taking that time off to try to figure that out. And then I get the leadership card. So this is, your values of on using logic over emotions. Yeah, I think they're really looking at this from a leadership perspective versus, again, just kind of showing up on someone's front door, and they have on some people's front door, but I think they're real trying to, as far as the world is concerned, how can we, show up properly?
yeah.
So,
You know what? Dolly said that is spot on about aliens. I think it will be a slow build up to disclosure, and there is a lot
mhm.
of planning behind the scenes.
Oh
Remember,
yeah,
we also been programmed about the negative of aliens, so there's
oh
a lot
yeah.
of level. Um, I think I would ask them why they're coming now. Part of it is that they're trying to help humanity. We're not in a great space in a way. I'm not doing that doom and gloom thing, but
Hi,
it's
Kitty.
part of like it's just gonna happen because it's part of evolution, you know.
Hmm.
Um, like the kids after us, like you're they're gonna be more normal than it's gonna happen our lifetime, which is cool. Cause I always thought like the someday, but as far as like the full living of it, gonna be more like later on. But
Yes.
I don't care how long it happens while we're still here. Hi, AD. The only thing I don't get is the death card. So I think 'cause this is really a new way of thinking and being. Can you imagine like the amount of mind, what do you call it? Like shift you have to go through? Like you've been that person who never believed in that,
Oh
or
yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
religion and things like that. Cause I got the page of cup. I'm getting like the vibe here. We want to make sure the vibe is good. Like people
Hmm.
have the vibes about it because without that preparation, it could like not go so well. So I feel like part of it is timing, the evolution, but also they are um, trying to keep humanity in line.
Oh, absolutely. Look, when you said that, this is the base of my deck, the Seven of Wands. So there's definitely boundaries that need to be set in place first before they can really step into that space. There was something that Dolly said. Yeah, could you imagine the chaos and reality?
Uh,
The reality check it would cause for some people.
yeah. Oh, that even with me, I'd be like, "Holy moly!" You know.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Katie.
exactly. It's so much level, and that's probably why
Hmm.
we saw the download in the beginning with the Hierophant, and probably we're heading into the Aquarian age. I don't know what that was, the Aquarian age. Um,
Hmm.
so it's a lot. It's a lot. That would be the topic.
Yeah, they're as real as
Wow,
we
you
are.
missed it, but Samantha showed that she had and KD, she had experience a couple of days ago, 5 triangles shaped in the sky. During the day, hello.
That is so cool.
So perfect. That's perfect. So the next topic we're going to go into is about artificial intelligence. So let me just read you a little something. It's funny how artificial intelligence, even though they've been around, it's really taken its place. I'm wondering if part of that government they're having like meetings or so to speak beforehand. Part goes with that AI growth that's happening. Because we know that likely ET was the one that created that. you know. What I wrote, okay, the rate to regulate artificial intelligence, the policy, both the USA and European Union and the government around the world last year announced a race to regulate and safeguard AI, and that will continue in 2024. Their aim is to set standard for responsible development of AI, and that AI is not a threat to economic development, public health, civil liberty, and national defense. So I had a question, but let's ask if that's part of this standard that we were talking about with the ETs. So let's see what comes from that.
So what is the question?
So the question is, this AI development and safeguarding that the government are doing, this part of like also preparation with the ETs.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll go with it.
If it's in conjunction with that. Dolly was saying that Katie had an experience too recently. So both Samantha and Katie have had an experience.
My God.
Yeah,
both of you
Samantha, where are
saw it?
you located? Are you in Arizona too? Because maybe you guys saw the same thing.
I
Wow.
find it interesting how you both showed up. Because on the title that mentioned nothing about ETs.
Right.
Yeah,
So loud.
I know it's kind of hard to type it up, but if you can't just type it up for us. She had it. Okay, so what Dolly say? Katie had experience. Oh. Samantha, you in Arizona. Wow. Okay. So let me focus on the question.
All right. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up.
Yes. And describe. I'm like excited here. I don't even know what was the question.
Samantha
again?
posted her comment if you want to pin that.
Okay.
Oh, and Katie did too.
Okay. They were in my yard in my next door neighbor carport.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean, like in the car like area? Or in what the carport?
That's like a man-made garage, like a shield, like a cover for the car.
And what were they doing? It's like, should I invite you in? I don't know.
Was it more of like figures that you saw, or was it like a ship? And then go the one up. Samantha put what she saw right above Katie's.
Okay. So Samantha said, I told my husband, he was like, did you record it? But I knew my phone would not have seen it. But I told him what they were doing in Australia. So you're from Australia.
Okay. Yeah, they've been showing up all over the world.
Yeah. This is your friend here, so I don't know. Samantha, hello. I have a friend that showed up a lot on my channel too from Australia. She's in Sydney. So, okay, so they shot up. Oh, I can't even focus. So what was the question?
So we're looking at how AI is in conjunction with the ETs.
So let's see. I'm gonna ask the ETs. Are you somehow helping the government? I'm asking them specifically, the benevolent ETs. Are you it's part of the meetings you're having to prepare people, that including with the government with artificial intelligence? Let's see. No wonder you and I were like, what the heck we're going to talk about tonight? And here we are. Oh, you know what they're saying? Well, okay. I got the 5 of coins. It's definitely going to help. It's going to, like, look at the people head here. It's going to blow their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because it's going to go with spiritual, it's going to, like, freak people out because it's like, Dolly said, what did she say? The depth of our religion and programming. Like, it's a lot of, like, thinking that's going to shift. But in regard to artificial intelligence, they want to make sure that, because really right now, artificial intelligence, even though it's going to become like an entity in itself. It's still like you need the programmers behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Still at beginning phase. So part of it had to do with the humanity consciousness. If humanity consciousness keep going forward to the positive, then you don't really have to worry about people abusing it. So the ETs are somehow making sure that humanity keeps thriving, like go into enlightenment. Because we've seen a lot of like really interesting divisive nature happening the past few years without going into it. And they're doing that because they don't want that enlightenment to come to be. What's happening, we've seen what's happening in the USA, very unique and around the world without going into it because they want to keep the world, happy, in a happy place, 10 of cups. So they are related, but it's just common sense to create the guidelines, these standard. But part of it is they're coming here to make sure not only to prepare people, but also to make sure humanity continued their enlightenment, in that way. That's what came to me.
All right. I love that.
Yeah.
You're actually speaking a lot of what my cards are saying. So.
Oh, good. I'm not making up stuff. Sometimes I'm making up stuff,
Hi, Jay Marcus. Good to see you. Yay. You caught us live.
Okay, so before you continue, let's see.
Katie wrote down about her experience that she had. Yeah.
They were talking to each other. The alien, the one next door would have a uniform issue. It was glitching. I would think it's trippy. AI is certainly a good segue into thinking about different life form other than human. That's what I mean. It's just, I was not scared at all. A raven warned me by going crazy. Dr. Gale said the raven was warning me not to be scared.
Wow.
Hi, Marcus. Yay, nice to meet you. Okay, go ahead. What was it?
Yeah, so I have the Seven of Swords. So there's a lot going behind. There's a lot of scheming. Of course, they're telling us lies. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Things are being kept in the cage right now here with the Eight of Swords. They're not ready to let it out just yet. But there's a lot of, with the Six of Pentacles, there's a lot of, here, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And so there's a lot of back and forth there. I pulled the Death card, so it's going to be the end of what we know and moving into something new, the birth of something new. And then I got the Fool, so a new beginning. A new beginning. And then what's at the base of my deck is the King of Wands, and that's like a card of visionary, a born leader, entrepreneur, right? The boss. So this is all that new AI that's coming in. So yeah, I feel that they definitely have their hands in it.
Yeah. This is very timely. The fact that we are collaborating, you got two people who had a recent, and you know of them, right? Not like just random people having an interesting ET experiences. The first topic we talk about is ET and AI. So the next question is, the next current event is a rise in good news. Let me see, what did I put in here? So the rise in good news, that's always good because we have a lot of reality check. We shouldn't say it's always just bad news. Most of it is reality check news, right? And we know they make money. And let's be honest, guys, you focus on the drama. People could give you good news and you might be bored of it. I've talked about good news. My view's little. When you start talking about the drama, so,
well, what I realize about drama and about people, especially this is one of the reasons why reality TV is so huge, because it's an escape for people to get away from their own stuff. Right? It's like, oh, I don't want to deal with my stuff. Let me go see somebody else going through something. and so it just pulls them away from their own reality. And that's what makes it so big. And that's why people get so engrossed in a lot of these things.
I'm going to say that the rise of media outlets that are posting more and more positive news to balance out the news of reality check bad news. Yet why not also include good news? Bad news make more money and people fight. You know what it is? Our fight, flight, respond to it too. Besides it being like escape, we want to stay safe. So that's why we watch that as well. And so
Jay wrote
We'll ask a
something
question
interesting
about
there
that.
too.
But let me see. Discernment really the theme this year. We're being tested to use our gift to see what's real and artificial. You know, it's funny. One of I'm not bringing it up, but we're on year 8, and astrologically we're in year 8, and it's about taking your power back. And
Mhm.
part of that is, you know how the 8's like a affinity, and it's
Infinity,
like a
yeah.
loop. So a lot of us are going to come out of that karmic cycle, and out of that is it's that year of material and spiritual focus, um, and more authenticity will come out of it. I
Mhm.
guess we're adding this in. So that means if you're an entrepreneur, it's a good year for this because you're going to take your destiny. Love is another area for single people because you're healed enough, so you're going to manifest love versus the soulmate and the twin flame. They even mentioned twin flame energy. And what else? But for people in a relationship, you're gonna have to you may have challenges because it's gonna force you to grow. You know how some people, when you've been together for a long time, sometimes you have one person grow but not the other one.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm divorced.
You notice there's been a lot of do you notice that there have been a lot of like divorces
Yeah.
lately?
It happens. It happens. That's I think one of the
You're
important
funny.
things
That's
about
why I
being in
get
a
divorced.
relationship. Yeah. Well, people are going to grow, and especially when you've been in a relationship for a really long time, you kind of get used to a person being a certain way, and then when they begin to change, it's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" So it's about growing and changing together, but allowing that space for that other person to be who they're growing, becoming to be. So that in my case did not work out. So that's the reason why we needed to divorce. But it happens a lot.
So I have a question for you. We're gonna shuffle the card in regard to rise and good news. And I'm gonna ask you who are in the comment, if you have an Oracle Tarot, shuffle the card for this too and let us know. So in regard to new good news, is it a form of sugarcoating or is this where we're naturally heading into like going forward, like it's a wellness thing? Because sometimes I wonder if good news is part of like sugarcoating, is it part of like spiritual bypassing? So instead of like that's a little confusing. So let's just say what's the message from spirit in regard to good news? Let's just keep it
Okay. Are
simple.
we just pulling one card on that?
Yeah, pull one. If that's what you
Okay.
feel.
Just one card.
Let's just
Okay.
pull. So while you do that, I'm going to bring up what Marcus said. Yes, 8 and Pluto, year 8 and Pluto go into Aquarius. It's AI and death, rebirth and transformation, big changes. Hang on. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You are spot on about that.
Right. We're not meant to be in each other's path, the parallel, not mingle. We tend to go our own way. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, oh, interesting.
So what is the message in regard to good news? The growing of it. So what you got?
I got the moon.
Oh.
So basically, a card of proceed with caution. There's still some things that are hidden that haven't come to the forefront just yet. Could also be a card about anxiety. Tensions may rise a little bit more. That's not necessarily good news, but what I would say is good news is that. Let me see what I'm feeling. So what I'm hearing on this is that. I think more people are going to want to bring whatever's in the background to the front so that it can be worked on because there's been so much of it that has been hidden by the moon. Moon is also connected about our emotions, right? So it's a lot since we're dealing a lot this year with self. I think there's going to be a lot of people having to they don't have a choice. It's like, okay, it's time to bring these things up and work on them and heal them but to also move through this year with caution and just taking your time with it. It's not something that happens overnight. So it's a process of just we're moving in that direction of bringing whatever's hidden out to the front.
So the good news is also bringing out what's hidden, not necessarily bad.
It might not necessarily be with the individual. It could be like with stuff that's just here. I think too in the world. I mean,
Think of ET, for
I've already
example.
seen this year with certain people just coming out with stuff, and they're just like, I don't know if any of you know Cat Williams. He's a comedian, and he came out and he put all these other comedians on blast. Like he just was like, and he even said, he said, this is going to be the year of stuff coming out to the, forget all this hiding and keeping secrets and all that. It's time to bring stuff out. And something happened. I can't remember now off the top of my head, the same type of thing. Somebody came out with all this stuff. So I think that, this year, all the stuff that's been hidden, things are going to come to the surface. So we're going to see a lot more things being exposed.
Okay, Samantha got two stored. It's like funny because I got this thing that we're not being shown, right? Covered.
Look at that.
At the tower. Well.
Oh, wow. There you go. There you go. Another transition, a change that's about to take place.
An illusion. A lot of things that we didn't know are being seen.
Seven of Cups.
Okay, what she got? I think we get to shoot our own drama, either going toward it or not. Let's see. I got the Six of Wands, glorious win. This is the time to shine brightly.
I like that.
I think, you know what I'm getting? Because I'm like, how would this relate to good news? I feel like on an unconscious level, first of all, let's go with practical. People are sick of, it's been so negative. So I think naturally people want to balance it. It could be used as a cover-up from the bad news or the real deal, but also to balance that out. So I think unconsciously, because of all the wow and the challenges and things that are coming up, I think the universe try and balance it to bring up like there are good in the world too. Otherwise, we'll go cocoa bananas. That's what's coming to me with the world.
And I think it is good news, because how can you heal anything
right?
that's still hidden? You need,
Oh,
in order to heal, it needs to be shown. So it needs to be shared. So if it's hidden, you're not doing the work there. So
Cat had been saying it for years, but no one paying attention. Cat bringing out all the laundry, but he's also bringing redemption. He's people are gonna step him. He's seeing his ego, his past, and things like that. I don't know what Cat Williams bringing up, but that's another video.
Oh, he was, that's a whole nother show, but he was bringing out stuff that people didn't know about other comedians, a lot of shady stuff that was going behind, and he put it all out there and told all the business.
We're seeing that in the government, like we're really seeing that the past few years. Also, we're seeing that in the music business. I'm not naming names, okay? Yeah, so there we go. Okay, so what was the next one? The next one is crazy weathers. Oh, let's see what Spirit had for us in regard to crazy weather. And for you that in a comment, please pull up card 2. You've been very helpful. Oh, what you get? I got a download with the Six of Wands. Sorry about that. Who knows why Spirit shows us what they show us? No, but that's a nice one. Good. I got like reward. That's what you mean. The 2023 was a struggle, and I feel like we're becoming more authentic. Not everything is hunky dory. Maybe like by seeing like people bringing up things that maybe were hidden. It's also helping people be more authentic as well somehow. So going back to crazy weather, what does the Spirit have to share us in regard to that?
The weather.
The sun. Okay. I'm trying not to go with the obvious. I'm asking my intuition not to go, well, you heard about like climate change. So let's go beyond that. I've been having fun so far.
No, this is very cool. I like it.
Okay, I'm going to share this with you, but just go with it, the woo-woo. I belong to, and it had nothing to do with you. I belong to an organization. It's about enlightenment. And one of the goals is just 10 years in the making. And you know how that astrological event that happened. Enlightenment was supposed to come in January 2024. We were supposed to have 81,000 transform enlightened human being, but it didn't happen. So what happened is when that failed, because the energy is so heavy and there's a lot of dark things out there that try and prevent enlightenment, what happened is delaying that. So what happened is you get the ripple effect. So you're going to start seeing more challenges, more calamity. Like you noticed there was a lot of rain in India and things like that. So the reason why I bring that up, they're saying in regard to weather change, depending on where we are as human being, the wheel of fortune. So now in our group, we're told to really focus on our growth, and also because we still have like a year period of time to set humanity right. Now, without going detailed, if you notice that's been a theme in world event, we're really at the cups of it's depending on who you vote, who you don't vote, depending on who these people are outing, like you're mentioning earlier. So a lot of it, we're at a period of doing the right thing. That's what comes to mind. So that will also depend on the weather pattern. A lot of time when we have the problem with weather pattern and things like that, not just about man-made action, it's also the universe or the planet, Mother Earth, try and give us a message. And that may include with the ETs. We don't know why they're coming down at this time. So somehow the crazy weather is going to continue as is, but depending on where humanity goes. So we're very in that moment. So my goal, my spirit guide said, just do what you love, because you're going to help counteract everything that is not about that. And also when you do things you love, you're pushing that energy of people following their heart. And that just helped collectively. Now that's woo-woo, but whatever. The 3 of Wands here is the weather pattern. It looked like they're going to have a lot of problem overseas, so outside of USA. Maybe a lot of flooding, because I saw the 6 of Pentacles. I usually don't do these things, so this for entertainment purpose only. But that's what I'm seeing, internationally crazy weather. But just to share you, again, with my spiritual community, you know how Japan recently, they had an earthquake and a tsunami? How you say? I always say
Oh, the
wrong.
tsunami.
Tsunami, right. So it was predicted, because the person's very gifted. He could tell ahead of time what's going to happen, and they usually happen. He said if we pray, we could like minimize it. So through this enlightenment group, not that they're enlightened, but we're working toward it, they were able to minimize the effects. So there was still the earthquake, but not the tsunami. So I keep saying it wrong. Not the salami, but so it's been prevented for now, but it's depending what action we take. So that's why it's very important for you to do things you love, and don't get caught up in the drama, because it's all related. The whole ripple effect, they all work together. But that part of some crazy weather could be prevented. So that's what I'm hearing. For some reason, it will resonate to you, however it resonates to you. Go ahead.
It's interesting. I pulled a few. I got a lot of pentacles. So, I think I don't know. I think also, this whole business with the climate and stuff, there's money involved, right? Some people make money off of this. I pulled the 9 of Pentacles. I do think that not only do they profit in some ways because they don't want to make changes and things like that, because it's going to affect their industry of things in like our oceans, even though I'm not necessarily talking about weather, but just as an example, our oceans, we're losing so much wildlife, or the fish and all the sea creatures. We're missing a lot of, they're going to die. I forgot, there's this really good, what is that documentary? It's on Netflix. It's very hard to watch, but it's insightful. There was a lot of things with the fishing industry and things that I didn't know but all of that causes weather patterns too, and changes things when you're changing the dynamics of stuff. I also got the Knight of Pentacles. This is a methodical card, just the card of slow patience. I feel that some of these things are planned, that they do plan some of these things, because they kind of make money off of it with the Ace of Pentacles. And then I pulled the Devil too, so just up to no good. And we're going to hear more of it. It's going to be exposed more with the Six of Wands. I think that's something else that's going to come out to the forefront this year and
It, it,
teaching us.
it does go with what we've been seeing politically. Like we're seeing a lot of like divisive stuff happening. It is. If it goes this way, then they're gonna override us. So we have to stay. Oh, I'm not saying that woke word because they killed it. I hate the word now. We have to stay really aware because there is a dark and light thing going on. There
Mhm.
really is at this time. Hi.
Absolutely.
So I think what she's picking up is accurate. Let's see. Let's go back. Wolf said, Dolly, I pulled 2 cards, Knight of Sword, an unstoppable force, and Ace of Pentacle. New abundance. So abundance of strong weather, always prepare. But
Yeah.
remember, it's
Definitely.
depending on where we go as humanity. Let's see. What else? Hi, Septina, the Tipsy Tea Leaf Oracle.
Hello.
Okay,
I
so
say you're never late. You're always on time, just for what
oh,
what you need to be here for.
so what I'm getting from listening to both of us is it's very much like the Wheel of Fortune. This is where we're at. Okay. It's depending on if people do the right thing, because everything's a ripple effect. That's why things are surfacing. We saw a lot of stuff happening in internationally overseas, but as I mentioned with the group that I'm in and how we were able to, how the prayers were able to minimize, that just showed that things can be turned around or at least minimized.
Mhm.
So a lot of the, instead of like, besides going the obvious, like, oh, that climate change, what I'm getting is that it's very much what we're doing as humanity. I wonder if ETs are related, are part of this. I agree that much of what is manifested our doing, we can give in to fears, but part of not being afraid is being realistically prepared.
So
I
that
don't know.
documentary I watch, I just want, if anyone would want to see it, I just quickly Googled it. It's called Seaspiracy. It's on Seaspiracy. I just put it in the chat there. And it's on Netflix. And it really talks about the changes that are happening with our oceans and the whole fishing industry. But I must say that if you are highly sensitive, not to watch. There is some of the abuse that's shown to like whales and other sea creatures. So if that's too disturbing for you, please do not watch, because it is. It's very disturbing, but also very insightful of what's happening.
Yeah,
And because of all of this that they're doing, that is going to drastically change our weather patterns as well. It's scary, really. I mean, it's not good stuff.
yeah.
Um,
And but I'm getting that a lot of it can be minimized depending on
oh,
people.
absolutely. I mean, that
No, no,
comes from
there's
us.
certain things you can't, there's certain
Yeah.
things that are gonna happen. No, but so do whatever you get intuitively, do it. Whatever we have to do in order to get to that space where it doesn't go the worst case scenario. Because part of that prediction or being in that group, they said in a year time things don't change, then you're gonna see a lot of calamity. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, you don't go in fear. You focus on right now, in a moment.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not doing the kumbaya thing. It's literally true when they say stuff like that. So the next question, not the next question, the next current event is about gig tripping. Have you guys heard about that?
This is so interesting to me because I've heard about it. I'm curious to see if anybody else has heard about it.
Have you heard
Yes,
about?
no, please don't. I'm an empath too, but I don't know. I think I got a little bit of a thick skin sometimes, and it did me in. So yeah,
Wow.
please don't watch. Yeah. It's very sad, but I was just kind of blown away with all the information that was shared. Um oh, there you go. Yeah, that's part of doing your part too.
And you know what?
Oh,
As far as like the vegan, they are doing their part, but not everybody body ready for that. There are people who get very sick doing the vegan and vegetarian. Maybe it's also because they need to learn how to eat it right. But we are animal, and just like certain animals, real animals eat animal. Certain. So it's like an evolution thing. We got to prepare ourselves. I don't think we need to eat so much meat, but the quality of food could change and all that. That's how we could play our part. So
for sure.
gig tripping, just to change the topic a little bit,
Hmm.
is from cntraveler.com. Gig tripping, which is like a destination concert. Right now, musicians are part of that destination concert business. It started really being led mostly by Taylor Swift. Because if you notice, like, she even complained that people are gouging her tickets, and she does not like that. Part of the
They did
corporation.
it for the Beyonce concert too.
Right.
People
So
were doing that.
that's a huge problem in the USA. And so because of that, I mean, we're talking like the basic seat up like 300.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
So it's crazy. So because of that, people starting to travel outside. They're starting to travel, so they get the concert and they get the trip. So now it's a big thing. So now I'm kind of curious, how will the travel industry will do in the USA with the gig tripping? And for Sandra, she's going to focus on globally. So if you guys have anything with that. So that's a new thing. It's part of the entertainment and it's part of the economy. So it's going to switch things.
Mhm.
So that's
Well,
the
one of the reasons why people are doing this because the tickets are cheaper in other countries.
right. So they might as
So
well
so
get a
if you
trip.
go, let's say I'm gonna go see Beyonce, right? And the ticket, I have no idea how much the ticket. I
Right.
know they were ridiculous here in the US, but let's just say like in
Normal.
Paris, they were like $100 or something. So instead of paying $500 for a ticket, why not take that extra $400? That could be your hotel, for a couple of nights. And then you buy your plane ticket. So you get a vacation and you get to see the concert that you want to see. So that's the whole concept of why people are doing this.
Yeah, I know somebody, my cousin daughter actually going to Italy to see Taylor Swift. I'm like, wouldn't it cost
Wow.
more? And they're like, no, because the prices are ridiculous,
That's
over here.
amazing.
So she'll get a trip.
So are we looking at if there's going to be an increase in this or
Well, I guess the travel industry, how would it affect the travel industry? For you, I'm going to put globally. I'm going to
okay.
focus on USA and
Okay.
globally include Canada and all that. So,
Okay.
because we have a Canadian here, Septina, the Tipsy Tea. And we have Australian with Samantha, right?
Yes.
So
The Tipsy Tea Leaf Oracle says I eat 75% less meat.
she says expensive
Yeah.
in Canada too.
Oh,
Yeah, remember in the 80s for like 25 bucks or
I know. It was so easy to go see a concert. I was just like, I'm good. I'm like, I've seen enough concerts to last me a lifetime. I got to see Michael Jackson. I got to see
wow.
Prince. So I'm good.
And
Anybody else is like bonus.
it was so common. Remember, like I could speak in New York. We have the city, and then we have Long Island. We used to go like so many concerts in for the summer. It
Oh
was
yeah. I
affordable.
know. I used to always go to concerts. Now I'm just like, how much do you want for a ticket? A friend of mine was coming out she was like, let's meet up in Vegas and go see Usher. And I was like, oh, that sounds like so much fun. Let me know how much the tickets cost. She called me up. She's like, it's $400 for a ticket. I was like, no,
And it's not even
no.
front row. It's like all the way to the top.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't like him that much.
I bought Duran Duran ticket for $50 from a scalper. That's amazing.
Wow, Duran
And that probably
Duran,
were
that's
like a good seat.
awesome.
I saw Janet Jackson, but no Michael. I wish I would have seen.
Oh, yeah, I saw Janet Jackson too. Now, mind you, at one point of my life, I worked at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. So
Mm.
I worked at the ticketing thing. So I got to get in and watch a lot of concerts. So I've seen Elton John, Billy Joel, Barbara Streisand. Who else? I have seen a lot of people. So that was exciting.
I cannot go to concert anymore, crowds, and I do not mix. I get
Mm.
claustrophobic at concert from back in the day.
I feel you, Katie. I'm kind of with you on that. I'm not a big want to be on crowds that much
I think I
anymore.
want to bring back. I don't really go out much, tell you the truth, right now, but maybe I should start going like local places. You know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of places now they'll have like concerts in the park or, something a little bit on the smaller scale. So those can be kind of nice. Okay, let me focus. We're doing
Yeah, I was
globally
gonna say, what was the question?
here.
Wait. What was the question? Oh, you got to focus on how the travel industry in regard gig tripping specifically be for
For the
globally. I'm gonna
globally.
focus on USA. I don't know if I should do Canada, but we're gonna keep Canada as global. How will global gig gig tripping affect the travel industry in the USA? So happy to have you all here. Yes, please, Septina. Please walk from the beginning. We talked about really interesting stuff in the beginning. You should see. I'm not gonna tell you. You have to look. Oh wait, look at the Dolly. Sick time in concert.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
That's
Wow.
definitely not now, right? Because you'd be like, I have to go Europe for that. Okay, let's see. My first concert with Prince. I'll never forget the purple.
Wow, good for you. That
He
is
made indoors with lighting, water, magical. I wanted,
oh,
not that I'm a big fan of Madonna per se, but like you don't
oh, I
even have
would
to
love
be
to
a
see
fan of
her.
her. You just know every freaking song. And even if the songs I don't know, they're great. And I want to see her because at the age she's at, but I can't afford it. I
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
regret. I wish I made the effort because she's doing a concert at the time. You could tell she's slowing down, but she's still very good. But you could tell the difference. One of the Casio here has an outdoor theater. I saw a train there sitting on the lawn in the back. It was great.
Oh, that's so cool. My daughter's first concert was Diana Ross. She was 8 years old because we have an outdoor venue up here, and I took her, and she's like, "Mom, who is this person?" I was like, "Honey, don't worry about it. You get to say that Diana Ross was your first concert."
I was
So,
gonna
Jay,
say,
I feel you. I mean, that is so awesome to say that your first concert was
did
Prince.
she?
That's
Did your daughter
amazing.
get to go to a lot of concerts because he had the access to get tickets?
Yeah,
Besides,
she's obsessed with going to concerts now. But her, she's not into like the mainstream music. She's got like a lot of these indie kind of artists and things that haven't quite blown up just yet. So she can get reasonable price, and they're in smaller venues too. So
yeah, that's good.
yeah, yeah, that's what she
Um,
likes.
what my first concert? I don't. I think it was like a Broadway show. Like with the Osmond
Hmm.
brothers, but I think Menudo. Remember Menudo?
I remember Menudo.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm so into that. Um, I wanted to go to the Ricky Martin concert like 2 years ago, but the ticket was crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, you were 8 too. How funny. That's awesome. I can't remember what my first concert was. Isn't that something?
Yeah,
I have
that's what
no
I mean.
idea.
I think it's one. I saw Prince that had so many heterosexual moments. He was so sexy. So I guess you're saying that you're not heterosexual, but he made you want to be heterosexual. More than he's really sexy. I remember seeing on one of Son on her Instagram, she had Prince in the story, and it said, "Could he wear makeup? He wear heels." And he's very girly, like the only guy that can make women go crazy. So even made it like a
Mhm.
gay woman. See, there you go. That's the effect he had.
So yeah, globally, it's interesting. I think that since this is like becoming more of a thing, I think that the travel agency is going to catch on and possibly raise rates in some
Oh,
areas. So, because I pulled the Five of Pentacles,
mm.
so I think it's going to hit people's pockets a little harder. And yeah, they're working together, the industry with the Three of Pentacles here. They're like, hey, wait a minute, we could possibly make money off of this. So they're looking into new ways of how they can make, and I feel like it's going to be more like packages. Like they're going to possibly put packages around. So like say the Taylor Swift concert, they're going to start selling packages. We'll get you your hotel, your your airfare and this and that, and then they're going to price that package. So
I
they're going
kind
to
of
take
like
out
that.
all that work. I think that's what this is talking about right
I
here.
kind of like that.
And then with the King of Cups, we have this is like a leadership reliable. So this is a new way, a reliable way, and it's going to bring in more wealth for the industry, the Nine of Pentacles. But as far as the people, this is the base of my deck, the Nine of Wands. I think it's gonna hit a little harder.
Okay.
They're like, well, whenever they get onto something that's like, oh, wait a minute, where can I make some more money out of this? There's always something that they're doing to try to make more money.
No, that makes sense. The U.S. They're noticing they're slowing down, but the venue, the people not buying as much. I would never have given up Ricky Martin in the past. It's just too expensive. So they're noticing the slowdown, and look at them. They're getting worried. The industry.
Mhm.
And I'm not so much the travel per se. It could be because the hotel and all that, but the venue. And we have really a lot of nice venues that have been built up, especially in Brooklyn and things like that. But if it keeps getting that expensive, it's going to start slowing down. So what I'm seeing, the Chariot, there's going to be some movement. So they're going to probably come up with some ideas. So I'm going to ask for clarity what that is, because people starting to lose interest.
Mm.
They're starting to look at other outlets. Like we mentioned earlier, maybe people are going to start going to smaller, beside the indies, like her daughter. But people are going to find other ways to entertain themselves. So they
Mhm.
got to keep people interested. And it's funny because the last card that she got was the Nine of Wands. So people are going to start getting fed up. So I'm going to ask, like, what's going to happen overall? How is this going to shift? Because if people are going to start getting fed up, what's going to make them do? So we're in a time right now of judgment. They have to go with a lot of it. I feel like what we've been talking about since the beginning of video with the ETs, why they're coming at this time, AI, what was the other topic? Good news. What was the point of good news? Things are coming out, right?
Mhm.
Crazy weather. We're getting warning or like with the Wheel of Fortune, we're at the point this year, even though 2024 is way more positive, because I done videos on 2024, definitely more positive, but it depends what we do with it, so that's why I keep living from your heart. Don't get caught up in the drama, because the last thing the dark wants, or the darkness, without being dramatic, is people to stay in that depressed mode and divisive mode, distracted, too busy with work. They can't do this and that. So I don't know, all this came about. But this is part of the industry too, because people are not conscious, business people are not conscious. They want to make money, but they're not thinking the long term. You're going to start
Mhm.
pissing people off. And we're starting to see this. Like, you keep price gouging, you're going to slow down the business. And then Europe going to be like this as well, or internationally. And, it's a rise. I feel like people are rising up. Because the year of 8 is also empowerment.
Mhm.
I So judgment. We're at the judgment without the dramatic, but we can make it from judgment to liberation. It could be a good thing. So that's what came to me. So let's read what's in the okay. Let's scroll up. Thank you for contributing with us. Dolly said, I used to work in a venue that catered to a lot of indie bands, new bands, and I really enjoy seeing those concerts like you,
Mhm.
like Disney travel, but for concert.
Exactly.
And I think the people in general aren't traveling as much. Airfare is expensive. Hotels are expensive. Renting cars had gotten expensive. Something had to give. So
Yeah.
honestly, well, let's continue. I
That
really
that's
felt, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I really felt the desire to travel. Maldives, Greece looked beautiful.
I want to go there too.
That is on my bucket list. People are still playing catch up with life and finance from
Mhm.
C19. Raising price is the last thing people want to pay after barely even. So going back what I was talking about my group, we were supposed to be in enlightenment. Not it's like you needed, you know how it's like a popcorn pop? So we needed like 81,000 people. Not that they're the special one, but we
Mhm.
needed that one because it was like a generator. Once that must happen, it would pop to humanity. Now, enlightenment always made it like it's the end do all. In the midst of the universe, it's like nothing. After the enlightenment is this, and after that, universe is infinite. It's always something to attain to. But for humanity, that would have been a nice place to be. It was, and so we missed that time for January of 2024. But we're not going to go into doom and gloom. But we could still like benefit with that energy of where we're in a period of time of a golden age. So it's all about these people who try and make money. These are our relatives. This is may even be us, like try and make money, and doing things to benefit. So we can't say like it's them trying to make money, and the people just try and like take. If you have a hotel, you're gonna take action into you want action from that. So it really had to do. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's like we got to really look from within and I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just that this will matter. If people do the right thing, maybe it'll be like that popcorn popping. We don't even have to do anything, but we're going to be part of that ripple effect. So if you're starting to see that and you're getting the sign from intuition, here, like something Septina said, a lot of us get sign from in original Rider-Waite, you see the hand coming out of the
Mhm.
4 cup. So that's like the divine giving you insight, but you don't really notice. You're kind of focusing on this, right? You're not noticing the better possibility that the universe is offering. So what the message here is that we got to hear, they're already telling us what to do in our life that will benefit not only in our own life, but for the planet. It's like a ripple effect. I'm just one person. You're just this one person. How do we matter? We do, because it's like a ripple effect. So somehow in the midst of all this current event, we're being shown like the cool of what's going on, but we're also getting some warning signs, some warning, especially not just with the weather pattern, but somehow with the good news. Um, you mentioned about some interesting thing that people want to start outing things. So it's like, how is that good news? But maybe there's more authenticity that's coming about.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't, the one thing that I can say about
You understood what I was saying? I'm like, great. Okay, good.
no, like Trump was that evil necessity that needed to happen. I feel that he brought all this stuff up to the surface, stuff that has been hidden for years. And yeah, it's ugly and it's disgusting and none of us like it and we don't want to deal with it, but how are we going to get through it? When things are hidden, it's like there's a lot of evil stuff that's going on behind scenes when we don't know what's going on. Now we have a sense of what's happening and what he's up to and what he wants to do when he comes back into office. And what all the, and then we get to see all the ugliness of other people that have been popping out. He's brought out like a lot of people out of the wood, like just roaches coming out,
Are you talking about our former president of the USA?
Yes, we're talking because now it's like, okay, the roaches are out. Let's grab the raid and like deal with this, So
yeah, what I kept getting, and I saw other psychics say it, so it did validate what I was thinking for a couple of months. It is so bad that even the people who are not so great, they're going to start doing the right thing. And why is that? Even if we have politicians, they say Biden's not good, and Liz Cheney's not good, because they're just doing the full agenda. But let's say they're that category. No elite want to work with dictators, because see what's happening in Russia? What happening? All their hit friends are suddenly dying, it's getting thrown out of the window, or they're getting poisoned. So you rather have a system where you have democracy or capitalism versus working with the dictator. So hopefully we're starting to see the good, the maybe not the best guys starting to do the right thing. And that's just as good, because that's a form of redemption. And even if they're doing it because it better themselves, it still benefit us, you know. So I guess, you know, she brought the former guy. The former guy is so key. If USA were to go under dictatorship, forget about the rest of the world. Even though the rest of the world are thriving right now, USA is still like that Coca-Cola of the world. Even though the so if we were to go into that, don't you think the rest of the world, it's like a world domination issue. So without, this is really heavy issue, but it's really it's a really important time where we're at, you know. So I, we're bringing the good in and the really intense, you know, situation. But right now it's looking like people starting to see more of this guy. But we have to keep working hard. I keep seeing a lot of people say, I'm not going to vote. I don't like either side. I'm like, you're not
I
seeing the
hate when
bigger,
people
you're
say
not
that.
seeing the bigger
Really.
picture. Even Liz Cheney said, she voted for the former guy 93% of the time. Her father didn't really have a great reputation. So a lot of people don't trust Liz. But she even said on The View, she said, oh, I could work with, she goes, I don't like a lot of Biden policy, but we could work with that. We can't work with the alternative.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, I don't like Biden because he doesn't, you know, the way he's handling Israel and all that, we got bigger problems. So you have to get rid of this guy. You know what I mean? That other guy. And we know that it's not just him. It's a lot of other things too, which we're finding out. But let's go back. Ziggy must be a friend of you. I have not seen. Nice to meet you, Ziggy. Okay. So you know what? I was trying to keep it nice and sweet, but I guess it's meant to be, you know, shared. So we'll just take it. We'll enjoy our night, but also realize like where we're at the time period. So there's so much out in the open. It's our time to love and shine our light. Let me put that out. Yeah, that's right. Marcus said, very true. You don't know how great things can be till you see the nastiness and evil that have been unleashed. Yeah, you know, we've been doing a little bit of that spiritual bypassing, like that Two of Cups, not wanting to see. So now that we see, we could do something with it. Yeah, that guy is visible of what you could get when the love of money and greed is left unchecked. Excessive wealth produce cruelty. Ooh, I got chills.
Yeah.
That's multiplying. I hope you're right. I hope the iffy politicians start doing the right thing. That would be great. It could very well that they won't. That's why we are all ripple effect. So we have to start doing the right thing in our own life. I already could think of 10 things in my head that I've been avoiding. So that's the ripple effect. We absolutely cannot change what we cannot see. Illumination can be so bright, it can be blinding. And you know what? Going back to what we did today on ET, AI, Arise, and Good News, Crazy Weather, and Gig Tripping. This is a very important topic. You know, all of them. We're talking about ET, that here, that's going to change a big paradigm. AI, it could be a very good thing for us, but it's depending on our consciousness. Who are the programmers behind AI? So we want to make sure that we keep evolving. A rise of good news. She already mentioned that people starting to come out with things. Crazy weather, depending on where we're at society, and gig tripping. People just making money. They want to, you know, in Europe, they're going to start making money. But if eventually it's going to be a point where nobody's going to want to go trip, and then there are going to be other things. Kind of reminds me of like music. You know, like music is meant to be like a good thing, but the industry is so disgusting, right? Right? People want music for free, so the artist cannot make money. So we all have to take responsibility in that. You know what I mean? So somehow it's all related. We can't just always blame it on the bad guys, or we can't just blame it on the evil. We have to do our part too. So that's what it comes down to. So we're gonna wrap it up with that.
All right. I
You have
love
anything
it.
to add before we leave?
No, thank you so much for having me on today. I so
Yes.
appreciate you.
Awesome. I really enjoyed it. Ended up being way more than I thought. You?
You said it. You said let's just do like these few here and we'll see where it takes us. And look, we're like
And the
we're at an
intention
hour
was,
15. So
I'm gonna say the intention was that it would be fun and informative. Well, certainly
yes.
was.
And thank you
So
for everyone who joined us. Appreciate it. All right.
I'm gonna